happy to welcome the guest for this show, Mr. Atul Babu, CEO of Tata Tech. Atul brings about 2 decades of corporate experience across marquee organizations in technology services, and he and I have something in common, worked with the same firm in the past. So, welcome to the show, Atul.
Thank you, Ringo. Thank you for having me. I started with manufacturing. I had graduated in electrical engineering, so there was this loyalty to stick to the branch that you know well. And I started in an electrical engineering company. Worked there for 2 years, and that was somewhere in the middle to late 90s. And just around that time, the IT boom in India was picking up. And I went for my postgrad in general management. And getting into IT became the next big thing around that time. I had the opportunity to work in a few different organizations, including the one that's common to both of us, Infosys, where I spent most of my time, over 10 years. And I had the opportunity to work in sales roles, account management roles, delivery roles, operations roles. So it kind of gave me an overall idea about how the industry works, how different moving parts in the ecosystem works. And that's when I felt that I was possibly ready to take on the next challenge by starting something on my own, where I could bring all of these experiences together. Being in different functions helped me look at things differently. And leadership is all about understanding different perspectives. I believe that leadership is about looking at things where most people miss out, right? Finding opportunities in areas where people miss out and pursuing it passionately. Does one have the ability to get up and keep going when one falls down? Right? Can one inspire oneself and others? And I've always believed the best way to inspire yourself is inspire somebody else. Right? Keep yourself motivated. Right? The ability to remain optimistic when things are not right. The purpose narrated by a leader is equally important, right? So that they can keep themselves aligned to the purpose and keep themselves focused and continue on that journey. I must admit that the itch for entrepreneurship had been there for a long time. But it's just that maybe you can call it circumstances or the obligations I had. It was difficult to get started and put myself and my family at risk. You're absolutely right that, I had the opportunity to leave being in very comfortable situation and going to an unknown area. It is not easy, but I felt every time I have tried that, the journey has been very fulfilling because I have kind of rediscovered myself and I have kind of figured out a different version of my own abilities, right? That I possibly could not see when I was in comfortable zone. The trick was to figure out what could I do there, right? Because you look at any industry, on one side, you would see opportunities. On the other side, you would see more and more things getting commoditized and many players being there. So the trick was to figure out what could I possibly do that helps me differentiate, that helps me stand out. And even as a newbie, I can make a difference. Say challenges are across all parts of entrepreneurship, right? I could see the difference in people's behavior, right? There were people who were equally encouraging. They were more supportive. And then there are people who I could see that, they are not so keen, right? So obviously there are people of different kinds. Now, when you start something, you want the foundation to be solid, which means the people who form the team have to be the right people, not just from skill perspective, right? But from the perspective of being very high on integrity, their purpose being aligned with what we as an organization want to do. Every challenge is like an opportunity and the test of one's ability to find solution and move on. First thing is to start by starting, right? I mean, sometimes people overanalyze, right? The pros, cons, what would work, what would not work. I think, in most journeys, in most of these cases, not all the answers are available, right? You've got a few answers and you embark on that journey and you kind of keep going, right? You've got to keep adjusting yourself right? So that's my first suggestion. Rather than being overwhelmed by the doubts, one should use it to test what one is doing, and if there's a need, adjust it, right? So use these doubts or these fears in a positive way rather than getting intimidated by the same. Making sure that the purpose is all the time known to everyone, and it's a reminder to the entrepreneur oneself as well, right? Because it's very easy to get dissuaded or get distracted with other things.
Thank you so much for your time. Have a great day. Look forward to staying in touch.
Likewise, Rango, thank you, and absolutely happy to be involved in the different things that you would want me to.
Like, share, and subscribe to the EL Forum channel. Click the link below to enjoy the full video.